Hi, I'm Claudia Brown Coulter with Pivotal Peace. I am your go-to mediator for navigating divorce while parenting children with special needs, and I'm also a legal document assistant, LDA, based in the greater Los Angeles area. So let's talk about ensuring that your divorce agreement is legally binding. You want that. You want this thing to be airtight, on lockdown. Okay? So, why it matters. You went through all this heartache and the process and the time and the money, and then it's not going to be legally binding. All the agreements you made are going to fall apart. Nope, not you, because you didn't do it yourself. You got some help. So you want to make sure that all of that time and money has actually been well spent, that you didn't waste it. So you want a solid divorce agreement. So here are some things to focus on. You want to double check. People make mistakes. They're called typos. So double check that paperwork. Double check to make sure that someone's retirement wasn't inadvertently put in the other person's column and now they're getting your retirement. Read through these forms carefully. Make sure that what you talked about is accurately represented on paper. And also, ensure that the things that you put in your agreement can be enforced and that they are legal. You cannot say if you introduce the children to your new partner before a certain amount of time, I get the kids forever. I get sole custody. They're not going to sign off on that. The judge isn't going to say that that's okay. You have to put things in there that could actually be enforceable. If the court sees that, they're not going to let you process that divorce judgment. That's not going to happen. You want to make sure, though, that things are plain and that you follow the rules. I said in another video that the court maintains jurisdiction over child support. So you can't say, well, we're just never going to pay child support. The court is not going to allow you to do that. That's not happening. Okay. This is a step that many people choose to skip because they've been through so many conversations, and the last thing they want to do is talk to somebody and it might unravel a little bit. Do it. Consult with an attorney, not any attorney. Consult with an attorney who calls himself a consulting attorney, someone who's a mediator attorney, someone who is a mediation friendly, someone who has unbundled legal services. Those types of attorneys are going to be more friendly in terms of they're not going to pick apart your settlement. I've seen attorneys, and it's certainly not all attorneys, who someone will go to them and the attorney will pull the settlement apart and create additional conflict so then that attorney can get billable hours and get this person, they're at the end of their divorce, ramp up the conflict again so that they can get paid. So you want to be careful the attorneys you consult with so that they're not undoing all the hard work. They're really looking at it going, okay, this is great. You should just tweak this a little bit. You should fix this a little bit. That might mean you have to return to mediation for a session or two. You know what? It's okay. And if your spouse does the same thing, you'd be returning anyway. Great. You're going to have a document that is more legally sound, that you're both going to be happy with, and that you both feel is fair and equitable. It's better to do that. Don't skip this step. Get some legal, especially if you haven't had an attorney this whole time, get some legal advice. Pay for an hour. Get their take. Yeah, it's going to cost you money, but think about all the money that you might be leaving on the table that you don't know about. Once you're happy with this agreement, you've consulted with attorneys, you've made changes, you need to get this document signed and notarized and submitted to the court. And then the court needs to approve it. So some common mistakes are people just don't do that. They skip meeting with the attorney. They skip the final review. One of the things that happens is people forget about the future. They're not looking towards the future and going, if I make this support non-modifiable and yet I lose my job, how am I going to be able to pay this support? right? You have to kind of look to the future. If I'm totally waiving my spousal support rights, even though I'm entitled to it because of XYZ in the marriage, and something happens and I'm no longer able to work, I can't go back and request spousal support. So this is why you want to consult with an attorney so they can help you think about the bigger picture. And another thing that people do is they don't document their terms. It comes time for them to type their terms into software or to write them down, and they don't. They're not clear. They just remember a conversation they had with their spouse, but they go back and they look at the final paperwork and there's nothing there. You want to document that. It's a verbal agreement, make it a written agreement. Document that stuff. Don't leave it out, because I can see this, I can't see that. The judge can see this, they can't see that. Your former spouse can say as much as they want, but it says this, and that's their signature. You want to have things written down. Take that extra time. It is really hard to undo these. It is really hard to undo a divorce judgment. So take the extra time, extra day or two, to make sure it's right. This is the step you don't want to rush. You don't want to rush. If you need help completing these divorce forms, I'm not an attorney. I cannot give you legal advice, but I can help you complete these forms. You can tell me what to put on these forms. I'll get the forms ready to file in court for you. You can take it to an attorney and have them review it. If you need that kind of help, I am here to help you. If you need help negotiating on what terms should actually be in that settlement agreement, I'm here to help you too. Reach out to me and let me know how I can be a support to you so that you can get to your happily ever after apart.